You ready?
Good.
How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. Can I get your name and occupation, please?
My name is Kendrick Nelson. I work at the Student Rec, and I am the operation manager.
Can you tell us about your background and your education background?
I got my bachelor's in sports management, and I got my master's in business administration.
And where did you get these bachelors at? What school did you go to?
I got my bachelor's at Georgia State in Atlanta, and I got my master's here at Valdosta State.
What motivated you to pursue a degree in sports management?
Coming up, I always played sports. I wanted to be an NBA player, but things didn't go that way, so I just decided to stay in the sports world.
What specific area of sports management did you find interesting, like the marketing side, event planning, athletic management, or kind of like facility management?
The facility management. I wanted to be a part of the operations that goes down at Direct, so I decided to apply for that job.
Speaking about that job, how did you work your way up to that job, or did you get it right off the bat, or how did that go?
So while I was getting my master's, I started working at Direct as a referee for the intramural games, and the guy that did have the spot, he graduated, he left, and the spot was open, and I was the most qualified for the job.
And what kind of skills did you gain from reffing the actual sports instead of playing? Because I know it's kind of different from actually playing. What kind of skills did you develop from reffing?
Yeah, so during my time reffing, you just gain a lot of traits of just how to stay calm, how to make the right calls, and just doing everything the right way. So I feel like throughout those years, I gained all the experience I needed to become what I am now.
And how does that differ from the role you do now? What's your role now?
So now I am the operations manager. I am a part of ref quality, and I assign the refs on what time they play, what time they ref, and what they will be doing during that time.
And what sport do you all ref at Valdosta?
Yeah, so in the fall we ref football and soccer. In the spring we ref volleyball and basketball.
And in your opinion, what sport do your refs ref the best?
I would say basketball, because most of the staff are past or current basketball players. So I'd say basketball is our strongest sport.
And I'm not saying you say you're in charge of ref quality. So how do you go about making sure your refs know what they're doing and how they operate?
Yeah. So first, it start off by the hiring process. You want to get people that know sports, because if you don't know sports to begin with, then it's hard to teach sports, right? So first you want to get people that's qualified, and then we have a week of training before the season starts.
So when it comes to scheduling games, stuff like that, making sure who plays who, making sure all this the system, the IM system, how y'all have a system, right?
Right.
The IM system is working. Who does that go through, you or anybody else?
Yeah, so currently it's all me. I have an Excel sheet that throughout my master's I learned how to use Excel pretty well, and I use this Excel sheet, and it got the date, the time, it has everything I need. All I gotta do is place the names, and that's how we make the schedules.
So when it comes to when people, let's say a team wants to sign up for one of the football, volleyball, soccer, basketball leagues,
Right.
Are you in charge of that as well?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of people, what are some of the challenges you faced managing the intramural, during the seasons and stuff?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Mostly we just get all the teams that signed up, run it through a generator, and we got the schedule for the whole season. But some teams let us know that they want to drop out or they can't play at a certain time that was generated originally. So just the scheduling part is maybe the toughest part, and then just the scheduling.
Do you have any real world experiences or internships you might have had that kind of help you shape your career path? Did your master's contribute to anything that you do in the rec, or did your management bachelor's degree help you how does your education shape how you do your job today?
Of course, I got my master's in business administration, so just working on this, I just I just put everything I learned during my master's in business and just take it to the rec center with me. I mean, you got to do a lot of just talking to people, learning how to just be on time, telling people how to be on time, and just communications and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll say my master's helped a lot.
Now, being that you're kind of like the guy at the Red and Sport the operation man, is there anything like sports you would like add? Are you able to add any sports you like just like kind of shopping, thinking about maybe starting?
Yeah, of course. So, here at Valdosta State, we have fields next to the football field that we use for intramurals. There's like 3 softball fields or baseball fields. So I feel like we could put that to work. So I think we could add softball. And I would say the spring where it's not too cold outside.
What's some advice you would give someone that's interested in pursuing a career in like sports management or even trying to get to the spot that you're in right now?
So if you want to become where I'm at right now, I would say keep your GPA high first while doing your undergrad, because you need a pretty decent GPA to get into the master's program. And yeah, so keep your GPA high. That's pretty much all, but you also want to just get experience within the sports world. So however you want to do that, that's if you want to connect with your school sports or just your rec center, something like that.
And I assume that this is not your end all be all. So anything like what's you inspired to be after this, like in the sports world?
Yeah, so I want to become an ESPN analyst. So I feel like I'm on the right track with just staying in the sports world, working for the rec, working for the sports around my school, and hopefully I gain enough knowledge to talk to somebody big and leave here.
Speaking of making like connection stuff, has this role at the rec made like have you made any networking connections? Like are you like real close to the players, your staff, like your bosses maybe? Like do any of them like networking with like they trying to like pushing you towards
Right.
win goal?
Alright, so during my masters I have been working closely with the sports, the basketball, the baseball, the football guys, and a lot of the coaches. They know people, so when I talk to them, I haven't really asked them to make the connection yet, but I'm just getting close to them right now, so that when I do ask, it can just flow perfectly. They know who I am.
Is there any internships maybe like you're going for that you've seen, anything like that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure ESPN has internships. I haven't looked too into it yet, but I mean, sometimes I look over, but there for sure internships out there to be.
Do you feel like refing can play a part into like knowing sports better, or probably like understanding the sport better? Like, do you feel like you say you want to be an analyst after this? Like, you feel like refing sports gives you better knowledge of the games?
Of course, when you ref a sport, like you could know the sport. You could know the sport because I played basketball my whole life. I watched football my whole life. I played football, but you don't know all the rules and you don't know everything about it until you ref the sport. So yeah, I say refereeing help you a lot with knowing the sport, and that can help you with being an analyst in the sport.
Do you feel like has there been like any days you came to work maybe like some of the players or staff you were like it's really not what you signed up for? Like, do you feel like do you do anything that's outside of sports management that you feel like it's like, okay, that's not really what I signed up for?
Not really. You get heckled a lot. You got people that act like they don't want to be there or something like that, but that all comes with sports. I mean, people get mad at your refs, mad at you, feel like stuff is not going right, but that's all sports. So, I feel like everything is in line.
What kind of entry-level positions should someone look for after graduating with a sports management degree? What do you feel like they should go? What should they start out with? Like, where should they go to get a job after they graduate there with their sports management degree? Like,
the bachelor's or the master's?
The bachelor's, with a sports management degree. Where do you feel like it's an entry-level position where someone could go and gain some experience?
So after you get your bachelor's, I feel like you could do a lot with that, but you can't do too much with it. I mean, you could go try to sign up and and just work with us. Well, I think mainly you should start by working with the sports writer school after you graduate. See if you can get in with them. See if you can let them get some interviews off, or see how people get interviewed, or something like that. I think that's what you should do. I think that's the first step.
Do you have any memorable any memorable events, or so I'm gonna go back to your time as ref. Do you have any memorable events as reffing that you can speak on that kind of stuck out to you?
Of course. So my first year reffing, it was a football game, flag football game. It was champ night. It was like last play on the goal line. I'm the head ref, so that means I'm behind the quarterback. The quarterback, he hikes the ball, and of course he get rushed, and he tried to run from him, but he ended up swiping his arm. He flag guards, and this is the biggest play of the game. I threw my flag on the floor, and the quarterback ended up completing it for a touchdown, but I had to bring it back. So that was the most memorable moment I see of me refereeing.
So do you feel like it was the right call? Like if you was in your position now, looking at the person called that call, would you have agreed with that call?
I mean, you hate to make those calls, but yeah, I would agree with it. I mean, the person flag would have got pulled had they not flag guarded, so you gotta make the right call.
And I kind of got to ask you earlier, how long have you been operation manager at the rec?
For about 2 years now.
Do you have any memorable situations from doing that job?
Yeah, it's been some wild nights. I would say that one time while I was supervising on another field while reffing, I got a call saying that on another field that I was not around, one of my refs had got into a fight, and I had to go over there. I had to go check on her to make sure everything was okay, and we had to kick that guy out. So that was a pretty memorable moment while I was in charge.
Now, how do you balance the business, like not so much the business, but how do you manage the operation side of the rec with maintaining focus on the athletes and teams that you kind of like look over and supervise? Like,
so to me, I mean, that all falls in one line. If one side is good, then the other side is most likely going to be good. So let's say if the scheduling is wonky and nobody knows what's going on, then of course the players going to be mad. They're going to feel like everything is not structured. So if everything is structured with the scheduling, with the reffing is good, then all the players and teams, they're going to be happy as well. Everybody here to just have fun. So.
Okay. Now, what do you feel like is the next step for the rec? Like is anything like y'all working on tours, or like is anything new this like in the sports? Or like what's the next step?
So we got an all-star game this year. We've been taking stats, and I feel like that's good, but that's already here. So I feel like what's next is having some of the guys that's getting their undergrad and masters in sports management, and they want to go big like me. Something that I want to do. I want to start with interviewing these players, treating them like real NBA players. Have some post-game interviews, some halftime interviews, just getting the sports management people used to talking to players. And I feel like that could be next. Just treating it like a real thing.
So implementing things like an all-star game, maybe like an MVP of the league, is that all up to your decision and you and your bosses?
Yeah. I'm not the